Now let's have a look at what the QAR strategy is and how it works. In secondary schooling, across all disciplines and subject areas, students are expected to navigate texts with specific purposes, i.e. answer questions. If we think about tests like the QCS and NAPLAN, students are expected to respond to stimulus. The same thing happens in classroom discussions. Students are expected to answer the teacher regarding questions about a text that they've just read, such as a novel, a textbook, or a source in history. But how often does the response, "Oh sir, it's not in the text," be thrown out at teachers? Well, the QAR is a strategy that aims to improve student reading comprehension so that these situations do not happen again. The QAR does this by improving student ability to identify the types of questions that are being asked. Once identifying the type of question being asked, the student will know which processes, be they cognitive or tangible, that are required to find the information to answer those questions. The QAR improves student literal, inferential, and evaluational comprehension. It improves ability to scan text, to skim read, to read between the lines and to understand inferences, to make connections, to connect ideas with information they already have, to make predictions and to form opinions. The QAR was found to be more effective than other comprehension strategies, proving itself to be a successful strategy implemented across a range of learners, improving ESL and ASD student outcomes. QAR was also found in a study to improve student test results. It does this by teaching students to identify different types of questions according to their relationship to two primary sources of information, the reading material present and the reader's background information and knowledge. Categorizing and understanding different types of questions leads to an improved ability to be able to answer them, as students will have a firm understanding of the processes involved to find the information to answer them. These processes being both cognitive and tangible. The QAR helps students visualize this process, providing them with a framework to classify questions and decide which processes need to be followed to find the information for the answer. This is done by first explicitly teaching the different categories of questions, and then teaching the students how to find the clues that identify those questions, which is usually the wording. Then, modeling the processes, both the cognitive and the tangible, that would go into finding the information to answer those questions. And finally, teaching students about text structure and organization, to show them where authors are likely to include explicit meaning. In the QAR strategy, there are 2 different types of questions and 4 different types of question-answer relationships. These are the in-the-text questions, which are the right there relationship and the think and search relationship, and the in my head questions, which are the author and me relationship and the on my own relationship. With the right there questions, answers can be found directly in the text. Students are able to point at the answer in the sentence. As the answer is usually found in the one sentence, the question will often contain similar wording to that sentence. These questions are often quite simple and include questions that start with who is, where is, what is, how many, and according to the passage. The think and search questions can still be pointed to in the text, but will often require the reader to draw information from multiple parts of the text. This will often require rereading, skim reading, scanning the text, highlighting different bits of information, and fitting ideas and information together to formulate a response to the question. These questions often start with what caused, compare and contrast, summarize, or explain. The author and me questions are not explicitly stated in the text, but require the reader to use their own knowledge and experience on the topic and situation and combine it with the information present in the text. This requires the reader to read in between the lines and make inferences from the author's opinions and perspectives. They must combine information in the text with what they already know. These questions often start with things such as the author implies, the passage says, or the passage suggests what the author's attitude is. The last one, the on my own questions, do not require the reader to actually read the text. The information and the answers come directly from the reader's own experience.
created using Powtoon.